Yeah, I drive by the West Oakland BART station because it happened on the curve, right on the curve. It wasn't like up in the, like in New York, you got to go all up in Grand Central, all up in the train station. This is on the platform, on the sidewalk, on the street of MacArthur Boulevard, the same street that the Panthers were walking up and down all the time. So this is the black neighborhood, but it's in the area where people can take the subway or train, for West Oakland. And I drive by there all the time, and you can see the actual spot where she was stabbed because the people could put out a memorial to her for weeks and weeks and weeks. There was all kinds of, and people still are depressed about this. We still feel it here because there's a bakery down the street that's owned by workers, and they, not by bosses, but it's a co-op. And they have a whole window dedicated to Nia Wilson that they keep going to remind people who she was. The irony of Nia Wilson's death is this, and this is inside information on Ground Zero Oakland that I can share with you. Nia Wilson was coming from the day she was stabbed. She and her sister were coming from a memorial. If you look it up, she was coming from a memorial for her boyfriend who had drowned the year before on that day. July 4th of the previous year, her boyfriend drowned with his best friend who had been his best friend all his life. That little boy's name is Joe. Not the boyfriend, but the other boy. The other boy, Joe, is my wife's and my children's cousin who we had here in our house many times before he died. So we lost a family member in the drowning, in the same drowning that took Nia Wilson's boyfriend. So two boys died when their father and a bunch of adults went out on a boat here on 4th of July a few years ago. And the captain of the boat, this is some footnote detail, so I apologize for the minutia, but the captain of the boat told the father of the boy who she was dating, told that father not to go off the boat because they didn't have life rafts, and that wasn't the kind of trip. And so the father and the two stupidly gets off and swims away with the boys, and they swim, and the boat did not know that they got off the boat. The captain did not know they got off the boat, and others didn't know. So the boat went far away, and these boys were strong swimmers. They had history of swimming lessons. Joe was a swimmer, and the father made it back to the boat. When the ship realized they left them, the ship came back to them. The father survived, whoever he is. The father survived, and the two boys died, 14 and 15. When those boys died, Nia Wilson was her boyfriend. So her boyfriend died. So Nia Wilson's boyfriend died. Then when Nia Wilson was going to the memorial, coming from the memorial is the day she got stabbed. Her and her sister. So that's how close this is to black men screaming. That you're not going to hear anywhere else. And the other thing you can look up and confirm is at the memorial for the boys that died, on the same day that they had the memorial where Nia Wilson had attended, some idiots were on the street corners gambling, young men, and they got into a fight over their little $12, $20, $80, whatever it was. It was chump change. And they pulled out a gun and started shooting and hit a girl who had just done a praise dance at the funeral of the two boys who drowned. So on the day of their funeral, another girl was killed in Oakland on the streets. So that's 3 young people that died. And then Nia was going to the funeral for the 2 boys that died, and then she is killed. So 4 young people in Oakland were killed all together around this story, and most of America only knows about Nia Wilson. But there were 4 young people that died in the story related to Nia Wilson's death. She was in the process of mourning the death of those other 3 young people, and then she lost her life. Please understand that that's the context of what happened here in Oakland, California. And now this man is on trial, trying to use a diminished capacity defense, claiming that he is was mentally disturbed. And it's a sad thing. It's a sad thing here. I don't know what else to say. It's just sad.